All right, let's dive into one of the most exciting trends in Web3, the rise of phygital assets. Now, I know it sounds like some kind of sci-fi buzzword, right? But it's actually a surprisingly simple idea that's starting to solve some very old and very expensive real-world problems. But before we get into the solution, you've got to understand just how big the problem is. Look at that number. That's $500 billion with a T. That's the estimated value of the global counterfeiting market every single year. It's this massive shadow economy that honestly affects pretty much everything we buy. So what are we talking about here? What's getting faked? Well, pretty much everything. We're talking luxury bags, high-end watches, knockoff electronics, even the jersey of your favorite football team. And, of course, limited edition sneakers. For you, as a buyer, it turns every cool purchase into a total gamble. And for the brands, it's a huge hit to their revenue, and, maybe even worse, it erodes trust. Okay, so there's this massive $500 billion problem. But what if I told you there's a solution brewing, one that blends the world we can actually touch with the undeniable security of the digital world? This is where Phygital comes in. So what exactly is Phygital? Well, at its heart, it's pretty simple. You take a physical object, something you can hold, and you give it a unique, verifiable digital identity on the blockchain. Think of it less like a photo of your item and more like a secure, unbreakable digital soul that proves it's real and that it's yours, beyond any doubt. Okay, that all sounds cool in theory, right? But how does it actually work? I mean, how do you really connect something like a sneaker or a watch to the blockchain? Well, the process is surprisingly elegant, and it all comes down to two key technologies working together perfectly. It really boils down to two key pieces. First, in the item itself, a tiny tamper-proof chip gets embedded right inside it. We're talking about an NFC chip. Yeah, the same tech you use for tap to pay with your phone. Then, over on the blockchain, a one-of-a-kind non-fungible token, an NFT, is created and it's digitally locked to that exact chip's ID. It's a perfect one-to-one match. One physical chip, one digital token. No duplicates. And here's the best part. For you, the owner, it's ridiculously simple. Once that chip is in and the NFT is linked, you just tap your phone to the item, and boom! Instantly, the blockchain verifies that connection to its unique NFT, and you can see its entire history. Proof of authenticity, right there in your hand. So you see, this isn't just about proving something's real. It completely changes what it means to own something. It's like the quote says, you're not just holding the object, you're also holding its digital birth certificate and passport. That's a powerful way to put it, right? It tracks its whole journey. And this is where things get really interesting, especially for anyone who buys or sells pre-owned stuff. We're talking about the secondary market. You know, the place where that nagging question, is this real, can make or break a deal. I mean, just look at the difference here. The old way, it's slow, it's expensive, and you have to find some so-called expert that you hope you can trust. With digital authentication, it's instant. It's trustless, because the blockchain doesn't need to be trusted. It just is. And anyone, anywhere on the planet with a smartphone can verify it for themselves. So what does this actually give us? Well, it's a whole new standard of trust. You get this crystal clear, verifiable chain of custody, so you can literally see every time it changed hands. You completely eliminate the need for those costly authenticators, which just slashes transaction times and costs. The bottom line, it builds this undeniable, rock-solid trust between buyers and sellers. But, and this is the really mind-blowing part, proving an item is authentic, that's just table stakes. That's solving today's problem. The real future, the game-changing potential of all this, lies in what this technology unlocks next. And this is where it starts to feel like we're living in the future. It makes you wonder, right? What if the things you own weren't just passive things? What if your stuff could actually be keys that unlock entirely new digital worlds and experiences? This is what we call the utility layer. See, that NFT that's tied to your sneaker, it's not just a digital receipt, it's programmable. Owning it could get you early access to the next big product drop. It could be your VIP pass to an exclusive token-gated online community. Or, hey, maybe it unlocks a matching pair of virtual kicks for your metaverse avatar. The physical object you're holding becomes a key to this whole new universe of digital perks. So I want you to think about something. The next time you look at a prized possession, maybe it's a rare collectible, a piece of art, your favorite watch, don't just see the object itself. Ask yourself, what could its phygital future look like? what kind of digital life does this thing deserve? Because that future, well, it's being built right now, one tap at a time.